P&L of communication. P&L is people and language. The profit is in the people that you serve, and the L is if you don't get the languaging right, you might lose them. So we took P&L and made it about people and language because that is what this program, this entire 3 days is all about, increasing your ability to communicate. So let me tell you about human beings. Human beings exist on 3 levels. As humans, we are biological first. Do you know what that means? If you have to pee, you can't hear what I have to say. If your clients have to pee, or if they're thirsty, or if they're hungry while you're dealing with them, they can't hear what you have to say either. So remember, if human beings are primarily biological, always bring water for your clients. Always have cold water in your office if you meet with them there, okay? If you're meeting with them over Zoom, online, then ask them, hey, how are you doing? To go handle your biology. So biological first. Next, human beings are linguistic. So on top of the biology, we language things, and we're going to get into why human beings use language, but nothing on this planet, think about it, has ever been achieved or accomplished if it hasn't been languaged first. So what are you asking for? We're going to go back to what Ed talked about this morning and all of those fabulous questions. Are you listening for the answers? Because what are you listening from? Are you listening from your point of view or their point of view? And then we're transactional. So before lunch, when you guys were having that conversation, it was instead of going straight into a solution at it, instead of that, listening from how can I be of service to this person? Got it? Biological, linguistic. What's this number? Anybody have any idea? You're accountants. You know numbers. What is this number? Anybody have a guess? Don't we wish? Okay, what else?
The number of plants I've tried to grown unsuccessfully.
The number of plants, I love that. Fantastic. Who else? Who else? Let me tell you what this is. Oops. This is the number of accounting graduates in 2023. This is how many people graduated with their bachelor's degree in accounting. It's 47,000 people, okay? This number, any guesses? Very good. Oops. These are people with a master's degree in accounting, and this is according to the AICPA. That means that in the past year and a half, there are approximately 64,000 new people in this profession. I want you to look around this room because there are 150 of you in this room who are going to be at a totally next level, leveled up from that 64,000 people. You all are the ones that are and should be in demand. So what we're going to talk about is how do you make yourself in demand? Because accountants are not commodities. You are not. You are specialists. You are expert accounting financial professionals. You are not just accountants, you guys. And anytime you say, oh, I'm an accountant, I want to relanguage that for you to say that I'm an expert accounting financial professional. Who do you want to pay more to? Somebody says, what do you do? And they say, oh, I'm an accountant. Okay. Somebody says, what do you do? And you say, I'm an expert accounting financial professional. Which one's going to be able to charge more money for what he or she does? Languaging, right? Anybody agree? Has anybody done that? Just framed. We're talking about reframe. Let's reframe you to be elevated at the level that you truly already are. So I actually went to the Wharton School of Business. I didn't go there. No. I went to their website. No, don't get confused. I did not go to Wharton. My dad went to Wharton, and that's why I actually looked at Wharton. And I looked up the curriculum to graduate from Wharton. I want you guys to look at this curriculum. Does all this look familiar to all y'all? It's 37 credits. Where in there does it talk about communication skills for business professionals? I actually looked it up. I went into each of these courses and I looked at what they learn. Listen to this. 1/2 of 1 credit of the 37 credits that you need to graduate from Wharton is called Business Communication on Financial Plans. It's how to communicate a financial plan to someone, their financials, not communication. I equate this to going to medical school. How much time do doctors in medical school study nutrition? 1 day. I've talked to doctors. 1 day in a full medical school program, they study nutrition. That, I believe, is medical malpractice. This not teaching you all how to, making it a huge part of your training, being communication is crazy. So the fact that you're here, you all are so far ahead of the rest of the accounting profession. So I want you to take that in and acknowledge that for yourself. And when you go out there, you are not just an accountant, you're an accountant who has languaging and communication skills. So I asked AI to create for me an image of an accountant. Does that look familiar to anybody? What's interesting is I'm looking around this room and not one of y'all looks like that. And I'm guessing your offices don't look quite like that. From the accountants I spoke to, I'm guessing your offices might be a little more messy than that. Is that possible? But that is what accounting, that's the image that most people and that AI has of accountants, okay? I believe this is who you guys are now. So if that's true, after being with Hector yesterday, raise your hand if you were at the pre-conference yesterday. Okay, most of you. For those of you who weren't, I believe it was recorded. It's amazing. I believe that now 10% of your job is the numbers in the accounting piece. Because what I saw Hector do yesterday, putting in numbers from companies and have an AI go through and put it together, what you guys might be doing is checking AI's math coming up soon. However, I believe that this is your job. And I call it peopling. Peopling is actually a verb. People are peopling all over the place. Have you noticed? People's peopling is getting so much more radical. Their driving as people is becoming more weird. Their conversations as people is becoming more about peopling. So I want you to really focus on the peopling skills of your business, because if you don't, you may end up like that guy in the upper left-hand corner. Something else I did when I knew I was going to come here and work with you is I want to invite you to name famous accountants. Hector Garcia. I love that answer. Good answer. Name me another famous accountant. Maybe Arthur Anderson. Ben Affleck. You are my girl. Watch this. Watch this. Bob Newhart was an accountant before he became an actor. Janet Jackson, I love you. Eddie Izzard, now I would want him to be my accountant. Anybody want him to be your accountant? Kenny G was an accountant. And my favorite, thank you very much, Mick Jagger. So I believe, you know his song, right? You can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you just might find, say it with me, you get what you need. Exactly. So here's the beautiful thing. I believe that he based that on his accounting career, because we are going to give you what you need, but now changing into how it will be, we're actually going to give our clients what they want. So let's talk about people. Okay. What do we know about people? People's peopling. What do we know about them? I'm going to share 3 things that we know about people. First, people do things for their reasons, not yours. I want you to always keep that in mind, that people do things for their reasons, not yours. Humans crave to be understood. We are dying to be understood by people because the world, we're living in slices. Have you noticed you meet somebody today and who they are today is their totality? That is not who we all are. And we all show up with all kinds of stuff. And humans are emotional and we make decisions emotionally. Why do you think TV commercials have such great music under them? They either want to get you up and moving, or they want to make you cry, or they want to make you feel something. So humans are emotional. This first one, people do things for their reasons, not yours, happens to be one of the cornerstones of communication excellence based in the exactly what to say methodology. There is a really good chance that sometime in your day tomorrow, you are going to get the opportunity to learn the 4 cornerstones. But if you don't, I just wanted to share them with you. My favorite is the reminder. Look, we all know that people do things for their reasons, not yours. You all are here for different reasons. I bet if we went around each table right now and asked why you chose to come here, your reason would be different than the person sitting next to you, okay? But I want to take this to the next level. People bring with them, if they do things for their reasons, not yours, every human brings their values, their priorities, their upbringings, their biases, and their perceptions about you, about the world, about everything. So what are you doing to learn this from each of your clients? From people that you're about to work with and people that you currently work with. You might want to ask them about where they grow up, where their family is from. What is most important to you when it comes to your money? It's one of my favorite questions for you all, okay? So if we understand this, humans crave to be understood. People only trust people who they feel listen to them. So we spent the morning with Ed talking about asking questions. And all of these great questions that we learned how to ask. What's the key to the other side of a question? Listening to the answer and listen from their point of view and how you can help. So let me tell you one of my favorite questions to ask someone when you're wondering about how they can be understood by you. If you looked at your stress level today, and we took the money stress out of your stress level, where would your stress level be without it? Have you ever asked that question? Everybody's walking around with so much stress now. Human beings are walking around stressed out just because the world is moving so quickly. So if you say, what is your current stress level? And if the money stress of that was removed. Now, I'm not saying you're going to make them more money. Hopefully you'll save them some money at some point, maybe. But the stress of knowing about money and holding on to money and having money and knowing what you owe the government and getting your financials ready for the board to approve, I mean, it's a lot. So if you ask that question, you know what that automatically does? It automatically takes you and places you at somebody who might be able to get rid of alleviate some of their money stress just by asking the question. Got it? Okay. Next, humans are emotional and they make decisions emotionally. So you guys have spent 10 minutes with me now. You see what I do for a living. Okay? Why do I have an accountant? Tell me why you think I have an accountant. Because I have a business. Excellent answer. To save me time. Excellent answer. For peace of mind. Excellent. Of what I love. Amen to that. Because I'm not an expert. All of these are 100% true. Do you want to know my real reason that I have an accountant? I don't want to go to jail. Door and taking my Jeep away. I live in Colorado. I have a Jeep and a golden retriever. I know. Typical. But I don't want to go to jail. So if you ask the question, why do you have an accountant? And let your people answer that question, and you heard from them, let's say that they have an accountant. She has an accountant because she doesn't want to go to jail. If every time you reached out to me, you said, hey, Carolyn, I'm wondering if you want to do any 1099s this year. We should get them done early because A, we can get them done, and B, it'll keep you from going to jail. Do you know how much I will love you? Seriously, I will feel understood by you. I will feel emotionally connected to you because you understand my why as to why I have an accountant. So let me raise your hand if you've asked your current clients why they have an accountant. Have you actually asked the question? A couple of you. Most of you don't know. It may be for all of those other fabulous reasons that you just shared with me. The reasons of I have a business and I don't know how to do it and I can't read an Excel spreadsheet. By the way, all true, but that's not my underlying reason. Okay, so I want to invite you to talk to your existing clients. I'm also going to give you an excuse to do that. Who here has a plan for after Reframe? You're going to go back and reach out to all of your existing customers and clients and tell them that you just came to a conference, to an event, to level up your business, and you want to share what you learned. Anybody had that plan before? Anybody have that plan now? And let me invite you to how you might want to do this. Who here uses video email? Great. You use video email? Can I get a microphone over here? Yeah. How does it work? What do you use and why do you use it?
I hate writing emails. I hate reading emails. And I find if I do Loom videos and record a message, it can be personalized. People enjoy it more. I really enjoy doing it when I need to introduce two people to each other.
Yes, fantastic. I love that. And you use video email as well. Why do you use it? This gentleman right here?
Same reason.
Yep, same reason.
It's easy. It's just as long, sometimes faster.
And how much of a response do you get from the video email?
I mean, same, right? You get the view count, and then most of the time, especially if it's technical, do it this way, this way, this way, they love it.
Fabulous. Thank you. So most people don't read anymore. I am making a blanket statement. I probably shouldn't do that. But from the research that I've done, if an email is more than 3 bullet points or 3 little paragraphs, it doesn't get read. Do you all read all your emails? So let's just be honest, right? If we're saying that, so you send this long email to your client expecting them to read it? But if you do a video email, you can probably say it in 30 to 60 seconds, what you need to say. It's free to do video email now. Who here uses Gmail? If you use Gmail, there's a plugin called Cloud HQ. Have you guys heard of it? It's free. It's part of the Google Suite. Cloud HQ, there's a little video camera at the bottom of every email when I'm composing an email. If I click on that, the camera on the laptop opens up or the desktop, and I can actually record a video, which actually makes people connected to you. Let me ask this question. How many of you who here usually talks to your clients once a year? Raise your hand if it's once a year. Okay, raise your hand if it's twice a year. Raise your hand if it's more than 4 times a year that you connect. Oh, then you guys got this. Never mind, I'm moving on. Good, thank you. Great. Let's talk about language. What do we know about language? There are many reasons that humans communicate. Ed went through some of them this morning. You're going to hear a lot of them tomorrow. But I chose the 3 that I think are most relevant to who we are moving into where the accounting world will be. First, people use language to survive. Remember I said we're biological, linguistic, and transactional as humans? The survival piece is always first. So how do I survive? By communicating with you. We are pack animals. We need each other, which actually brings us to point number 2. People communicate, not just to communicate, but to connect. Every communication that you get and that you send, you get to ask the question, how does this help me connect to this person? And if you want to ask the question, do I want to? How many spam emails do you get? Who here has an email graveyard? Anybody have an email newsletter graveyard? Great. I want to invite you guys to unsubscribe to everything that doesn't relate to you anymore. Seriously, I want to invite you to do that because it's taking up your mental space every time you go through your list of emails. If the communication and the connection isn't valuable, don't keep it, because we only have so many hours in the day and only so much energy and attention to put on things, right? Okay, third, this is the one where you all can help the most. People connect to enhance their reputation. How does working with you enhance their reputation? So let's talk about it. Survival. The question that's underlying everything, more for women than for men, and I know that's completely politically incorrect to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. Women, the question underneath every connection, communication, conversation is, am I safe? Did you all know that? Women, we know that, right? Every time we connect with somebody, the biological connection question that comes up is, am I safe? Men, do you guys have that? A lot of y'all don't have that. It's fascinating. I did an exercise with some people and I asked women last time they had awareness they may not be safe. Let me ask you guys. Ladies, when was the last time you had awareness, just an awareness, that you might not be safe? Last night. Ding, ding. This morning, getting out of your car in the parking lot. Look at the men looking at you like you've got 3 heads. I mean, they're like, guys, when was the last time you had awareness that you may not be safe? Look at this one. He's like, what? I don't understand the question. Scaling mountains. Good. Yeah, that, right? So men don't have that. Women have this. So representing the women in the room up here, I just want you to know that how can you make it safe and comfortable for people to do business with you? Okay? Next, connection. We did that one. Okay, connection. How do you make it safe and easy to do business with you? Sorry, I did that one wrong. Survival. How do you make it safe to do business with you? I want to make sure you guys get all this. Make it easy and comfortable to do business with you. You know what makes it easy and comfortable to do business with someone? Context. My favorite phrase in the world. Can I give you my favorite phrase that I use every time I'm in a negotiation or a conversation with someone around any business. You heard in my introduction. So I ran the third largest clothing company on the home shopping network. It was called the Carolyn Strauss collection. I did it from 1997 to 2015. And people would ask me to do things all the time that weren't in my wheelhouse at that time. And my answer to them was this phrase, which I'm going to share with you. Let me tell you how I work. If you use that phrase with your current clients, because you can change your business model. Do you know that you can change? You don't have to do what you did 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. You can do something new now. In fact, you can come home from this conference, send an email to everybody, every current client, and say, you know what? I've just learned a whole bunch of new skills and techniques and add-ons that I'm adding to my business. Let me tell you how I work now. And you can actually reframe your entire business model to what you want it to be. Okay? And nobody can say no to that. If I say to somebody, let me tell you how I work, what are they going to say? Well, no, you don't. What they can say is, I don't work that way. Say, great, we may not be a fit for each other. So easy. So easy. We're not being mean. We're just saying, you know what? This might not be a fit. Great. Please find somebody who is. So let me tell you how I work, but that's somewhere in your notes. Okay. Finally, reputation. This is where you get to be brilliant. This is where you get to leverage all of your genius and your skills and your ability to optimize the AI stuff that is here and coming even more. You get to do that so that you save people. Here's what people want. They want more time, they want more energy, and they want more money. Who here wants more time? Who here wants more energy? Who here wants more money? Amen. Prove my point. So how do you, with your brilliance, save them time, energy, and give them energy and make them money? Got it? Okay. So I want to show you something. This is my favorite model, but it's a model that I've used in the past for a sales training. So you guys have the option right now. Would you like, okay, let me go back for a second. I talked to a lot of accountants and a friend of mine who is an executive coach for CEOs of accounting firms before I came here to work with you. And she told me that her accounting clients, you all, have more business than you need. You have more referrals and more people coming to you than you can actually deal with. Is that true? So sales really isn't the challenge, is it? Because people come to you for sales, for accounting services. How are you? She used the term burning and churning. Have you guys ever used that term? She used the term burning and churning, like, it's okay if one of my clients leaves because there'll be another one in a minute. How much more energy and time and money does it take to onboard a new client than retaining one you already have? Would you say that retention? So raise your hand so we can talk about sales, or we can talk about retention, or I can add in a little bit of both. Who wants more of a sales conversation? Raise your hand. Cool. Who wants more of a retention conversation? Raise your hand. I kind of knew. So, okay, here you go. Here is the retention model. And I want you on your page that it says the P&L of communication, you have all of that empty space. Please open it up and answer these questions or explore these questions for yourselves. What do you know about your clients? Do you know if they want to have an accountant because they don't want to go to jail, or because they don't have time, or because numbers aren't fun for them? Okay? This is where the understanding and the listening, after you ask those great questions that Ed taught us this morning, this is where the listening comes in. Now, it's funny. What do you know about your clients? They will emotionally connect. If I don't trust you and I don't feel emotionally connected to you, look, I'll tell you how tall I am. I'll tell you how much I weigh. I will not tell you how much money I have. I also won't tell you how old I am, but that's a different seminar. So if money is that personal, what do you know about them so that you can emotionally connect to them? Right? Can you tell me 3 things about each of your clients? What their family situation is, what their business situation is, and what their aspirations with their money is in the future? Okay. I am not talking to you, by the way, like financial planners. I understand that that's a different set of skills. But if you guys have that caring and that openness to invite this conversation, what do you know about them? If I feel like my accountant knows me, he knows my business. He knows that I hire consultants a lot. He knows that I spend a lot of money on travel and hotels and networking. If he knows that, then when I hand him my stuff, it's not a surprise to him. Okay? So the no, and by the way, if it was sales, it's what do they know about you? Okay? So a different conversation. Next. This is my favorite one. What do you like about your clients? If every time one of your clients calls, did you ever have one of those clients that every time they call or every time they email you, you just want to take a nap? Does anybody have those? Those are the ones I want to invite to reframe for you. I want to invite you to reframe. Say, you know what? Let me tell you how I work now. We used to work this way where you'd send me your stuff and I'd spend 17 hours going through it and going through every receipt one at a time. Let me tell you how I work now. We're going to set you up on QuickBooks. We're going to set you up with, Keeper to make sure that all of the different communication pieces are together. We're going to use all of the incredible event partners that are here to actually set up our clients to make it easier. Okay, you come in and set me up and organize me. That will make you like me more and me like you way more. Understand that, okay? Do your clients trust you? Okay, here's a weird thing. When women trust you, they talk a lot. If they don't trust you, they don't talk. So guys, if you get home and you're married to a woman and you say, how was your day? And she says, fine. And you say, what are you up to? And she says, nothing. You're in trouble. So you want to know if they trust you. They trust you if you ask them for something a little bit, maybe emotionally connected, and then they tell you, or they give it to you, or they share it with you. And how you get them to trust you is say, look, this is not going anywhere beyond where we are right now. I will not share this information with anybody. This is to make sure that you're okay, that your financials are in order. Okay? So do they trust you? And how's your word of mouth now? The try. The try in sales is, of course, the test month. Right? It's a test month for saying, by the way, does anybody do a test month? I know some of our experience event partners do test months. Do you know it's harder to follow up with somebody after a test month than it is for them to just buy for 6 months, try, and give them their money back at the end of 6 months, cancel it? Way easier than doing a test month. So for you all, how is your word of mouth? What do people say about you? Do you have a Google alert set on your name? Do you all have a Google alert set on your name? You do, and on your company. Wouldn't it be nice to know what people out in the universe are saying about you and your company? They're free, y'all. By the way, all these tools that I'm giving you are free. They cost us nothing and gain us so much. So what do people say about you? I always say that your career is formed when you're not in the room. Your career is formed when you're not in the room. There's a difference between work, money, and career. Did you guys all know that? Work is what you do with your mind and your body during the day. Money is the resources that you have to transact in the marketplace. And career is what people say that you do. That's your career. And if people can't talk about you in a way that makes you, elevates your reputation, tell them how to talk about you. Say, you know what? I know I've been your accountant for a long time. I am now an expert accounting financial professional. Put that on your business card. Put that on your website. Okay? That is the try. And then the buy. Look, you're going to easily get clients. From what I've heard from all of the accountants that I've talked to, it is easy to get clients. But clients for what? Do you want to do taxes for people? Fabulous. Do you want to do financial reports for companies? Fabulous. Do you want to do audits for companies? Fabulous. But you have the option, you guys. You're in charge of this. Look, we only get 24 hours in a day. We only get 365 days in a year. And please God, we get many, many, many years to play in. But if you're spending your time doing work that doesn't feed your soul, I want to invite you to reframe what you do and who you do it for. Okay? So what add-on services? Not only what add-on services, because I'm sure that Hector and Carlos will get into that. The question is more, who are your resources that you have to recommend to other people? Do you all have a mortgage broker or a group of mortgage brokers that you recommend? Anybody have that? Raise your hand if you have a group of mortgage people that you recommend. Do you have a good lawyer? Who has a good lawyer that they recommend? Excellent. Who has a good realtor that they recommend? Excellent. Who has a good plumber that they recommend? Who has a good painter that they recommend? This could be you. I want you not to be an accountant. I want you to be an expert accounting financial professional who is a resource to your clients, because that is how you retain people. They will never leave you. Okay? Here's one. Do what you say you're going to do, please, and make sure that people's files don't fall through the cracks. And maybe this is just me and my accountant, but I got my taxes to my accountant on the 20th of March. Guess when he got them back to me? Anybody have a guess? The 15th of July was when I got them back. I'm like, I got them to you before. He said, well, I lost some people and I couldn't get them done. And I thought, are you kidding me? My taxes were due. And he didn't even tell me how much I owed for like what do they call it? The estimated, thank you, like what I owed and the estimated. I mean, it was insane. So make sure that if something is going on with you, you communicate it with them. That's all it takes. If he had called me, by the way, when do I hear from him? When I call him in the middle of March and say, hey, I'm waiting on a couple more pieces. When do you need them by? I do not hear from him at all. Do you all send birthday cards to your clients? Does anybody here send a birthday card to your clients? Fabulous. Talk to this woman. The genius is in the room. Talk to this guy. That is so important. Do you know that if I heard from my accountant at least twice a year, I'd be more excited to call him in March, right? So make sure that you stay on top of it for them. And by the way, I know I'm talking to you all and it's a room full of accountants. This actually really applies if you think about the people in your life to really anybody who wants to retain clients that you've worked so hard to build up. Don't let them leave. Give them a reason to stay. And finally, what are people saying about you? And it's back to what I said. How are you serving their ecology? Do you know that every single human is the center of a wheel? And hopefully you are one of the spokes off that wheel. But everybody is the center. And if you can go around and see who's around that wheel for them and how you can be of service to all of the people in their world, you will build a business of people that you really love. So I want to talk about people who you really love. Who do you want to work with? I want you to not live by default. So many of us live by default. We take the work that comes. We take the clients that come. If you said, I am an expert accounting financial professional who works with small businesses from 25 to 100 employees, and I take care of their financials, their taxes, and their audit situation, how much more would I pay you than, yeah, I'm an accountant? Again, do you want to work with solopreneurs? Do you want to work with small businesses? And if you say you want to work with small businesses, please define that for yourself. What's a small business? Do you want to work with hospitals? Do you want to work with school systems? Do you want to work in the association market? Do you want to work with huge corporations? This is not who's coming to you. This is who you are going to go get to know, because that is why you get to love your life. My goal of all of this for you is that you love what you do, that you're passionate about it, and that people are really happy when they come play with you. And I say play with you because work and play are both 4-letter words, and you get to choose the 4-letter word of your choice. Mine is play. So I want to give you a gift. This is a QR code that takes you to a little survey about me. Wow, did you like her? Was she pretty? Yeah, ignore all that stuff. But at the end, look at this. It's a way for us to connect, because at the end, you will get my Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all that good stuff. But more importantly than that, while I'm talking, you guys can do this little survey thing. But more importantly than that, when I saw what Ed was talking about this morning, and I researched him, and I watched his YouTube videos, which are wonderful, by the way, I highly recommend them. I then thought, if we're going to spend the morning learning to ask the right questions, I want to share with you all how I believe is right to listen. So I created a 2-page document for you on proactive listening tips. We aren't taught how to communicate. We're also not taught how to listen. This is a 2-page PDF, you guys. It's so easy. Print it out, and just you might want to refer back to it. And yes, for those of you who've already gotten it, it does have golden retrievers on it, just because. All right. Give you one more moment for this. Thank you all so much for doing that. And while you're finishing that up, I want to share something. My favorite new word in the whole world. I got the opportunity to keynote a conference in Johannesburg, South Africa, back in April. And while I was in South Africa, people kept using this word, and the word is mailerism. It is my absolute new favorite word and favorite way of being. Mailerism lives between pessimism and optimism. Mailerism lives right in the middle. And mailerism is defined as the belief that we, as humans, can contribute to positive change and improve the world for the better through acts of love, creativity, compassion, and kindness. I believe that that's what you all do. And you may do it a little bit through the numbers, but you do it by being an act of service, love, compassion, creativity, and kindness for the people in your world. So go out there, live from mailerism. I am here for the rest of the week. So I'm here to be with you, play with you. And now for fun, go back to page 9 in your workbook and see where you are on our little chart. Because here's a little secret I didn't tell you about the Future Fit framework. It is not only a diagnostic, it's also a prescriptive. So if you're somewhere in the middle, you can actually spend some time on the right side of the paper and see where that takes you. And on Saturday, when we're finished, after you learn everything you're going to learn from Phil tomorrow and Hector and Carlos and then Kevin on Saturday morning, you guys are going to see a huge shift in how you are on the planet. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Thank you.
All right.